Most people have no idea what is about to happen to their phones, and I do not say that lightly. Something is unfolding right now, silently, within the very device that might be sitting in your hand, resting on your table, or charging beside your bed. And almost no one is talking about it. Not the news networks, not the corporations that build these devices, and certainly not the people you trust most. But it is happening. I need you to listen to me with the utmost care. Do not skip a single second of what I am about to share, because if you miss even one detail, you might miss the very key that could protect you, your family, and your mind from a force that is already beginning to affect millions. Today, I am going to reveal 4 hidden truths about your phone that are quietly shaping your thoughts, your habits, your energy, and even the very fabric of your memory. And I must be clear with you, the 4th hidden truth is the darkest and most concerning of all. I am saving it for last because it is something almost no one else is willing to tell you, but I will. I will because you deserve to know the full story. Before I unveil the first hidden truth, I want to create a small map of where this message is being heard. Tell me, where are you listening from right now? Which city? Which state? Drop it in the comments below. You might already be feeling the subtle effects of what I'm about to reveal, and sharing your location will help others in your area realize they are not alone. And while you are down there, please take a moment to hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this conversation is important, ensuring more people can find this message. It is time people start seeing what is really happening inside the devices they hold so dear. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. By doing so, you will not miss any of the valuable information I will be sharing in the coming weeks, because this story is still unfolding, and I do not want you to be left behind. If you are here with me, ready to hear this, just type "I'm listening" in the comments. I want to see how many of you are truly prepared for what is coming. The first hidden truth, the foundation upon which all the others are built, is what I call the attention hijack. Every single time you touch your phone, a complex chemical reaction ignites inside your brain. A small, brilliant spark of dopamine is released, the very same neurotransmitter that drives addiction, pleasure, and motivation. That notification sound, that vibrant red icon on your app, that gentle vibration against your fingertips, none of these are accidental. They are meticulously engineered by teams of behavioral psychologists and neuroscientists to make you react, not to think. You believe you are choosing to open that message, to check that update, but in truth, the choice was made for you long before you even reached for your device. The system is designed to choose you. I know some of you might be thinking, but I'm just checking the weather, or I'm only keeping up with my grandkids in California. But the reality is far deeper and more insidious than that. Your phone is not just keeping you informed, it is keeping you hooked. Technology companies in Silicon Valley and beyond invest billions of dollars annually into studying the science of human attention. They are literally mapping the intricate patterns of your eyes, your clicks, your emotional responses to different types of content. Every scroll you make, every pause you take over a photo, every single second you hesitate before clicking away, that data is captured, analyzed, and fed back into sophisticated algorithms. These algorithms have one primary objective: to hold your attention for just a few seconds longer. Then a few more, then a few more. They are no longer in the business of selling you a product. They are in the business of selling your focus to the highest bidder. And here is the crucial part you must understand. When they control what holds your focus, they begin to control how you think, what you feel, and even how long you remain curious about something that once mattered deeply to you. That is the real hijack. It is not about your phone being stolen, it is about your mind being silently rewired. Let me tell you a story about a woman named Susan, a 68-year-old retired history teacher from a quiet suburb in Ohio. She once confessed to me with a deep sense of shame in her voice, "I can't fall asleep anymore without scrolling through my phone for at least an hour." Susan used to begin her mornings with quiet reflection and prayer, a ritual that grounded her for the day ahead. Now, her first conscious act is reaching for her phone to clear a backlog of overnight notifications. This transformation did not happen overnight. It was a gradual erosion. One tap, one alert, one endless scroll at a time. She did not even notice her once sharp focus fading until she found herself unable to finish a book she had started, something she used to devour in a matter of days. This is not just Susan's story. It is the story of millions of adults and seniors across America, people who grew up in a world before the digital deluge, who now find themselves living inside of it, often without the tools to navigate its currents. That is precisely why this message is so critical. The longer we ignore what is truly going on, the more challenging it becomes to pull our minds back from the constant, manufactured noise. You see, our attention is like sunlight. Whatever it shines upon grows. When your attention is perpetually hijacked by fleeting digital stimuli, the things that truly matter, your peace of mind, the depth of your relationships, your faith, your creativity, they begin to wither quietly in the shadows. This is why I have always maintained that technology should serve you, not steal you. It should be a tool in your hand, not a chain on your mind. So I want you to pause right now, just for a moment, and ask yourself a deeply honest question. When was the last time you used your phone without it, in some small way, using you? Drop your honest answer in the comments. Just 2 simple phrases will do. I control it, or it controls me. Your honesty is not just for you. It is a beacon for others, because self-awareness is the absolute first step toward reclaiming your freedom. If you have found this first truth eye-opening and want to start making a change, I would love for you to comment the number 1 below to let me know you're ready to take that first step. Now, I want you to try something small but incredibly powerful. For the next 31 days, every morning before you pick up your phone, I want you to open a simple planner. I call it the 31-Day Daily High Impact Planner. In it, write down just one meaningful thing you want to achieve that day before your mind is colored by the digital world. Do this consistently, and you will begin to notice something profound happening. Clarity will start to return. You will begin your day with intent, not with impulse. Your phone should be a tool of creation, not a cage of distraction. But here is the part that is even more concerning, the part that almost no one is talking about. What if the same device that connects you to the entire world is also, in a much more powerful way, quietly disconnecting you from it? Because the second hidden truth about your phone, the one that no one has ever told you, is not about attention anymore. It is about disconnection. And when I explain what is really happening just beneath the surface of your screen, it will make you rethink every single connection you thought you had. Do not skip the next part of this message. Do not scroll away. Everything I am saying connects together, like pieces of a puzzle. If you miss even one part, you will not be able to see the full, sobering picture. Stay with me, because remember, the 4th truth is the most dangerous one, and by the time we get there, you will understand why our time to protect ourselves is running out. You remember what I said earlier. The first hidden truth was about how your phone masterfully hijacks your attention. But there is something far more silent and corrosive happening underneath that surface-level distraction. If you have ever felt a strange, gnawing sense of being disconnected from people, from a sense of peace, even from your own thoughts, despite being more digitally connected than any generation in human history, this might be the reason why. The second hidden truth is what I call the disconnection paradox. Let me explain this carefully. We invented these devices, we built these networks with a beautiful dream in mind, to connect us. Families separated by thousands of miles, old friends scattered across oceans, parents and children who could share a precious moment with the simple tap of a screen. That was the promise. But what if the very tool that was meant to bring us closer has quietly, insidiously become the invisible wall that now stands between us? Every text message, every shared video, every scrolling feed, every fleeting story, it all feels like connection. But it is not. It is contact. And contact is not and will never be the same as connection. You can be surrounded by a torrent of messages all day long and still feel profoundly, crushingly alone. That is not a personal failing. It is a feature of the system's design. The deeper truth is this: the architecture of your phone and the social platforms it houses rewards interaction, not intimacy. It is built to make you participate, not to make you feel present. It prioritizes the quantity of your engagements over the quality of your relationships.
That is why you can walk into any coffee shop in America, from Seattle to Miami, and see a room full of people with their heads down, their faces illuminated by that eerie blue light. We have become a generation that can broadcast our thoughts to thousands, but struggles to look into another person's eyes for 10 uninterrupted seconds. That is the paradox, and it is rewriting the very code of human connection faster than we can possibly realize. Have you ever experienced this yourself, sitting with someone you love, only to realize you're both lost in your separate digital worlds? Share your story in the comments. It's a powerful way to see how common this has become. I once met a man, a 74-year-old retired firefighter from a small town in Texas. Let's call him Michael. He told me, with a tremor in his voice, "I talk to my grandkids every single day online. We send pictures, we leave comments, but when we all got together for Christmas last year, it felt like we didn't really know each other anymore. It broke me." Michael's story is the story of millions today. Our technology promised us genuine connection, but instead gave us a high-fidelity simulation, a digital mirror that reflects a perfect image of us back to ourselves, but can never truly touch us. The real danger is that, after a while, people stop noticing the difference. When you lose the regular practice of real connection, of real listening, real empathy, real comfortable silence, the mind begins to numb itself to the subtleties of human emotion. And when the mind becomes numb, truth becomes just another piece of noise. That is how people can scroll for hours through world-changing headlines, images of tragedy and triumph, and still feel absolutely nothing. That is not indifference. It is a state of chronic overexposure, and it is happening on a scale we have never before witnessed in human history. I need you to hear this. Do not skip this part. Do not scroll away. Listen carefully, because for many people, time is running out to reclaim their innate ability to truly connect before technology completes its subtle shift from being a tool to becoming a replacement. The systems behind your phone are not just tracking your clicks, they are studying your emotions. They are learning how long you pause on a sad video, how your typing speed changes when you are happy, what kinds of images make you stay on the page longer. They are building incredibly detailed emotional maps of human behavior. While that might sound harmless on the surface, ask yourself this chilling question. What happens when a machine knows what moves you, what angers you, and what comforts you better than your own family does? That is not science fiction from a movie set in Los Angeles. That is the reality of now. And most seniors, the very people who once built the bedrock principles of human connection in our society, are being completely left out of this conversation. The mainstream media will not tell you this because it challenges the very foundation of the systems from which they profit. Silence and distraction sell more comfort than hard truths ever could. But truth is exactly what we need right now. So here's a question I want you to answer honestly in the comments. When was the last time you had a full, meaningful conversation with someone without checking your phone, even once? Share your answer. I still remember, or I can't recall.
Be honest. Your answer might be the wake-up call someone else needs to realize they are not alone in this struggle. And if what I am saying is resonating with you, please hit that like button so this message can reach another person today who might be sitting alone in the silence, scrolling through their phone, wondering why they feel so empty inside. Now, I want to give you something practical, a simple way to begin rebuilding that bridge to true connection. Remember the 31-day daily high-impact planner I mentioned earlier? Each morning, after you write your one intention for the day, I want you to add this single line beneath it. Who will I connect with meaningfully today without screens? You will be absolutely astonished at how one simple handwritten question can begin to retrain your brain to seek out real human warmth again. Because attention shapes our experience, but connection is what shapes the soul. If you have been feeling that slow, creeping emotional fatigue lately, that sense that life is getting louder but somehow emptier, you are not imagining it. It is not just the distraction, it is the disconnection. The paradox is that your phone makes you feel close to everything, but it is quietly separating you from the very things that give your life meaning: your faith, your family, your peace of mind. And the longer this continues, the harder it becomes to find your way back. There is a silent epidemic of loneliness growing behind our glowing screens. People are mistaking online validation for a sense of belonging, digital likes for genuine love, and quick, abbreviated replies for deep, lasting relationships. But no amount of notifications can ever replace the profound, soul-nourishing warmth of real human presence. I want you to pause and just breathe right now. Think about someone you have not truly talked to in a while. Not a text, not a comment, but a real conversation. Send them a message today that simply says, "I have been thinking of you. Let's talk soon." Small, intentional actions like that begin to heal the emotional distance that these devices have so quietly and expertly built between us. But listen closely. What I am telling you now is only part of what is really happening. Because the next hidden truth, the one almost no one discusses, goes even deeper. It is no longer about your relationships with others. It is about your mind's capacity to remember, to think clearly, and to stay grounded in what is real. There is a quiet erosion happening inside the human memory. And if the attention hijack steals your focus and the disconnection paradox steals your heart, this next hidden force is beginning to steal your mind. We are already seeing the signs everywhere. People are forgetting things more easily, struggling to think deeply, to recall details, to simply reflect. But this is not random. There is a reason behind it. I will explain exactly what is going on and why no one seems to be warning you. Because by the time I reveal the final truth, the one hidden inside your phone right now, you will understand why this message found you today, and why time really is running out to protect yourself and your family. So do not leave and do not miss what is coming next. What I am about to share could change the way you see technology and your own mind forever. Because this one affects every single person holding a phone right now, including you. What I am about to tell you is not about your phone's battery life or how fast its processor runs. It is about the life and the processing speed of your own memory. Most people have absolutely no idea how deeply and quietly their phones are reshaping their innate ability to think, to remember, and to feel. They call it convenience, but what is really happening is a phenomenon I call the memory drain effect. Let me explain how this works. Not so long ago, our minds were like detailed maps. We could recall phone numbers, navigate directions to a friend's house in a new neighborhood, and remember the details of conversations and the faces of people we met, often effortlessly. But something profound has changed. We stopped actively remembering because our devices started remembering for us. And while that sounds incredibly harmless, even helpful, neuroscientists are issuing stark warnings. The brain is not a static organ. It constantly rewires itself based on what it does most often, a concept known as neuroplasticity. So when your brain stops being asked to store information, it begins to forget how to store information effectively. And that right there is one of the most hidden and significant cognitive crises of our generation. Have you noticed it in your own life? That strange feeling when you open your phone to check one small thing, the weather, a single email, and suddenly an hour has vanished without a trace. Or that moment of mild panic when you realize you cannot remember what you had planned for the day unless it is written down in your digital calendar or notes app. Drop a comment that says, "I've noticed this," if you have felt that subtle cognitive fog creeping into your daily life. Because this is not a random occurrence. It is a widespread pattern, and it is happening everywhere. Think about it from your brain's perspective. Every single time you rely on your phone to think for you, to give you directions, to recall a birthday, to define a word, your brain receives a quiet signal that says, "Okay, I do not need to hold on to that piece of information anymore. It is being handled externally." That is how the memory drain effect spreads, slowly, invisibly, one outsourced cognitive task at a time. The average person in America today unlocks their phone over 1,000 times a day. Each of those unlocks is not just a tap, it is a tiny training session. It is training your brain to seek immediate external answers instead of cultivating lasting internal understanding. It is training your focus to live in short, disconnected fragments, and it is training your memory to fade. And here is the part that very few people are talking about. The more you outsource your factual memory, the more your emotional memory begins to weaken as well. This means you do not just forget facts and figures, you start losing the emotional depth of moments. The rich texture of your life becomes thinner, less vivid, like a photograph that has faded in the sun. Have you ever wondered why so many people, young and old, say that time feels like it is speeding up? It is not because the world is literally moving faster. It is, in part, because our memory capacity is shrinking. When your days blur together into a continuous stream of notifications and fragmented information, your brain stops encoding them as rich, distinct experiences. And when that happens, time subjectively feels shorter. This is the silent, unlisted price of total convenience. But here is what the technology companies will not tell you. You can reverse it. You can retrain your brain to store richness and depth again. Start with small, deliberate acts of cognitive resistance. Write things down by hand again. Try walking through a familiar part of your town without your phone, relying on your own senses. And most importantly, when you experience a beautiful moment, capture it in your mind before you capture it with your camera. Take a deep breath. Notice the sounds, the smells, the feeling. Anchor the moment with a true memory. Your brain will thank you for it later. But this is where it gets even deeper, because the memory drain effect is not just about what your phone does to your brain. It is also about what it is doing to your very identity. You see, our memory is what builds our sense of meaning. It is the thread that connects who you were yesterday to who you are today and who you hope to become tomorrow. If your memory weakens, your sense of self begins to weaken with it. And that is exactly what we are seeing across society. A generation that remembers less and, as a result, feels less grounded, questioning more deeply who they truly are. Does that sound familiar to you? Type "Yes, I see it" in the comments if you have noticed that shift, either in the people around you or perhaps even in yourself. Now please do not misunderstand me. Technology itself is not the villain here. The real danger lies in what happens when we stop noticing what it is doing to us. And that is why I had to share this with you today. Because the next hidden truth, the final one I will reveal, is far more urgent. It is something that is already affecting millions of people right now, as you listen to this message. And if you do not understand it in time, it could fundamentally change the way your phone and the world interacts with you forever. But before we get to that, I want you to take a moment to pause and ask yourself this profound question. If my phone is capable of draining my memory, my focus, and my sense of time, what else might it be quietly draining from me that I have not even noticed yet? That is where the final truth begins. But before we go there, I want you to do something for yourself. A simple daily reset that helps rewire your mind for clarity and focus again. Remember the 31-day daily high-impact planner I told you about? This is the time to start using it, not just as a planner, but as a tool for memory restoration. Each page is designed to help you reclaim what the digital world has been quietly taking from you: your attention, your awareness, and your inner control. Start today. Do not wait until tomorrow, because the longer this cognitive drain goes unchecked, the harder it is to get back what has been lost. You see, this message found you for a reason, not by accident, not by chance. You were meant to hear this before the final truth I am about to reveal. Because when I tell you what is really happening behind the screens, the fourth and final hidden truth, you will understand why time is running out for millions who have not yet woken up to it. And you will see why almost no one is talking about it. Not the media, not the companies, not the experts. Because what I will reveal next changes everything. It is the most concerning truth yet, one that touches upon our privacy, our control, and the very future of how humans and technology will coexist. So do not miss it. Do not scroll away. Keep listening, because once I show you what is really coming, you will never look at your phone the same way again. And you will finally understand why this message had to find you today. Listen carefully, because what I am about to say is the most urgent part of this entire message. This is the truth that almost no one is ready to face. You have seen how your phone can steal your attention. You have seen how it can disconnect you from real human connection. You have seen how it systematically drains your memory. But this last truth is the one that affects everything, the one that quietly determines the future of how humans and technology will coexist. It is what I call the overall drain. Every notification, every scroll, every search, every click seems small and insignificant on its own. But each one is a signal, a tiny drop in the vast ocean of your cognition. And what no one is telling you is that the world is already witnessing the largest collective cognitive decline in human history. Our attention spans are shrinking at an alarming rate. Our focus endurance, the ability to concentrate on a single task for an extended period, is collapsing. And our emotional stability, the capacity to stay calm, patient, and present in the face of challenges, is falling faster than anyone expected. This is not a guess. It is measurable. Studies from institutions across the world show that the average person can now focus on one screen for less than 8 seconds before their mind is compelled to switch tasks. That is a shorter attention span than that of a common goldfish. And while that fact sounds almost humorous, it is not funny. It is profoundly serious because it is shaping how humanity thinks, feels, and makes critical decisions. You see, your phone is no longer just a tool in your pocket. It has become an environment, a digital atmosphere that your brain has adapted to breathe in every single day. And that atmosphere is not neutral. It is engineered. Every sound, every color, every swipe is optimized to keep your mind engaged, but not necessarily enlightened. And the result of this constant immersion is this: the more we interact with our devices, the less we interact with ourselves. That is the ultimate hidden danger. The overall drain does not just weaken your focus, it rewires how your brain processes truth. When information becomes an endless, overwhelming fire hose, your ability to distinguish what is real from what is manipulative begins to blur. That is how control begins. not through overt force, but through cognitive fatigue. A tired mind does not resist, it scrolls. A distracted mind does not question, it accepts. And that is why this message matters now more than ever before. Do you feel it? That constant low-grade noise inside your head? That incessant tug to check, to refresh, to scroll, even when you consciously do not want to. Drop a comment that says, "I feel it," if you have noticed that relentless pull taking over your thoughts lately. Because millions of people are feeling it too, and most do not even realize it is not their fault. It is the result of design, data, and a cultivated dependency. It is happening quietly and visibly all around us. Let me ask you this again, and I want you to think about it deeply. When was the last time you felt truly bored? And instead of reaching for your phone, you stayed with that feeling of boredom long enough for a new, original idea to surface. Most people cannot remember because the constant drip of external stimulation has replaced the deep, quiet well of internal thought. And when thought declines, creativity inevitably follows. That is the drain that no one is talking about. The creative and cognitive collapse that is slowly eating away at the very roots of human potential. And here is the part that should make you stop and think. This is no longer just about individuals. It is about the collective mind of society. When billions of people lose their capacity for deep focus at the same time, our collective decisions get weaker. When attention becomes the world's most valuable currency, truth becomes optional. And the systems that control attention ultimately begin to control behavior. That is the real power that no one talks about, because the longer you stay distracted, the easier it becomes for someone else to do your thinking for you. That is why I said this message had to find you now, because time is running out for people to prepare, not for some dramatic doomsday, but for a quiet rewiring, a subtle shift where human autonomy is being gradually replaced by algorithmic guidance. And if we do not learn to control it, it will undoubtedly control us. So what can you do right now? First, start protecting your time as if it were your most valuable asset, because it is. Every minute you spend in focused, uninterrupted thought is a minute of your life you take back from the noise. Second, begin to rebuild your mind's endurance. Set aside just 15 minutes a day with no screens, no sounds, no scrolling, just silence. You will be surprised, and perhaps even uncomfortable, by how loud your own mind becomes when it is finally allowed to think again. And third, start recording your journey to clarity. That is why I keep mentioning the 31-day daily high-impact planner as a crucial tool for recovery. It is a daily reset that helps you see the patterns, track your focus, and remember who you were before the world got this loud. Use it every single day, because the only way to fight against a system of digital decline is with conscious, personal design. Now, here is what is coming, and you need to hear this. In the next few years, as our devices become exponentially more intelligent and personalized, your phone will know more about your mind than you do. It will predict what you want, when you want it, and exactly how long it should hold your attention to influence your behavior. And if you do not learn to set firm boundaries now, those predictions will start shaping your choices without your conscious consent. That is the silent line we are about to cross, the point at which technology stops serving humanity and starts guiding it. That is why this message matters, because by the time most people realize what is happening, the drain will not just be cognitive, it will be cultural. This is not fear-mongering, this is a fact-based projection of current trends, and that is why you cannot afford to ignore it. This is not about your phone anymore, it is about your future. That is why I am asking you to stay aware, stay informed, and stay connected to this channel. Because what I am going to share in my next message will go even deeper, beyond your personal phone and into the hidden architecture of the internet itself. You cannot afford to miss it. If what I said today resonated with you, hit the like button to help this message reach one more person who needs to hear it. Comment below and tell me, "I'm taking back my focus," or "I'm choosing awareness," and share one specific step you are going to take this week to regain your attention. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and do not miss what is coming next. Because this channel exists for one reason: to help you protect yourself and prepare you for the truths that no one else is telling you. You found this message for a reason. Now use it before the world forgets how. Check my playlist for more videos that will help you on this journey, and I will see you in the next one.